The Fixer by Richard Martin. Narrated by Bob Saul. Chapter 1. Shit usually started with a phone call, a vibration, the thrum of 800-pound plastic on thigh. So it was quite refreshing for Walker to have his door knocked. Romantic, almost. He might have even found it exciting if it wasn't the early hours of Sunday morning and if it wasn't Sergio Chiesa. Not that Walker didn't like Chiesa. Spanish, left-footed, tendency to cut inside off his wing. Feint to shoot, feint to shoot. He feinted so much Walker thought he must have low blood pressure. No, apart from wishing he pulled the trigger a little more, Walker found the footballer to be better than average company. Company that had a habit of knocking his door at 4 a.m. Walker opened up and got what he expected. Dark hair, dark eyes, moonlight-pale skin. The Spaniard darted inside, leaving Walker to check the street. Empty. Nothing to see here except a metallic purple Range Rover parked with 2 wheels on the curb and the driver door flapping in the breeze. Walker sighed, hopped outside half naked and closed the SUV's door. It looked like his day was starting early. How much do they want? Another 50K. Walker had managed to convince Sergio to not do another line on his breakfast bar. Chiesa, in addition to being one of the best footballers on the planet, was a bit of a coke fiend. Not full-on Tony Montana, but certainly heyday El Diego, snorting from post-match Saturday to sunrise Monday without so much as a sneeze. So it was a small win for Walker when the Spaniard put the cling film wrap back in his jean pocket, mainly because he didn't want the powder getting into the grooves of the freshly oiled work surface. Same arrangement as before. Yes, I must transfer it before midnight tonight, or they... You know. Walker did know. Give them the money, or a video of Sergio Chiesa, the 2-time European Footballer of the Year, would be released to the media showing him engaged in a sexual act with a man. For engaged, see fellatio. And there was a large part of Walker that thought, fuck it. Let them release it. It wasn't the same world that Justin Fashanu had died in. Having a global superstar like Chiesa come out would be incredible. Barriers wouldn't be broken, they'd be smashed. A revolution of acceptance and love would spread through the sport and society, giving a sense of freedom and peace to individuals that no number of rainbow-coloured laces could ever hope to achieve. Walker bit down on a yawn. Free love didn't pay his mortgage. He knew football, knew there was some truth in the time-worn cliché of it being a microcosm of society. If the video got out, Chiesa wouldn't just be thrown to the lions. He'd be diced, stewed, encased in pastry, then served with a frothy pint of warm carling at football grounds up and down the country. Walker's stomach growled. He rubbed his knuckles, tracing a finger over a damaged tendon on his right hand. It had slipped off the bone during a third-round stoppage and never climbed back on. He flexed the finger and let the tendon crunch rigid. The shot of pain helped him forget his gut. I'm sorry, Sergio. My advice was poor and it cost you money. From his perch, Chiesa gave a half shrug. Shoulder-length, jet-black hair flopped over his gaunt face, brushing against the tip of a long nose flecked with white powder. He reminded Walker of a nursery rhyme crow. Fuck money. This is my life, Walker. I'm finished. Done. There's no way back from this. Walker said nothing. Fuck money. Walker wished he could. Fuck some money and make a nice tidy brood of little baby banknotes. Still, crisis brings opportunity. He watched the young man claw at the back of his head in desperation, try to ignore the tears that dripped onto his newly buffed ceramic floor. Poor bastard. Walker leaned forward and placed a hand on Chiesa's shoulder, which only seemed to make things worse.
We go policio. We go to the police.
Walker squeezed the bony shoulder. I'm sorry, Sergio, but that isn't an option.
Why?
Like I said before, the police... Walker tailed off. Taking a breath, he tried to push his long-held prejudice against law enforcement to the back of his mind. He failed. The police are cunts, Sergio. With something as big as this, they'll fuck you. But one guy, that's all it takes. One guy, one WhatsApp group. And it doesn't even have to be a detective, someone in IT, a lab worker, a West Ham supporting special constable. All it takes is the wrong person to see that video, and it'll be in the news before you've got time to spit or swallow. Sergio bawled and Walker winced. He had to work on his pep talks. Serge, look at me. Come on. Look at me. Walker dug his fingers into Sergio's shoulder hard enough to settle the Spaniard's sobs. Through greasy bangs, the crow looked up. You still remember where they live, right?